Hi, welcome to my Boss Capital channel. My name is Michael Chu. Here's my support email if you have any questions. Again, we're going to follow the top, how to trade the top 50 stocks on my list and more. Just because there's a lot of stocks really moving up the list, and so we want to talk about them too. And this is for the week ending June 28, 2024. If you find any information on here helpful, please like and subscribe to my video. A quick disclaimer, I'm not a registered investment professional. All this information are for just education purpose only. So yeah, I'm gonna again show you my top 50 stocks that I follow, and like I said, there's gonna be even more today just because a lot of stocks are starting to move up. My trading style, you learn from my videos, and you guys don't have to follow them. If it doesn't work for you, please don't. But if there's any nuggets you get out of it, please like and subscribe my video. And if you have any comments or questions, yeah, feel free to drop that so I can look at what you're thinking, and maybe you can even help me improve. So yeah, so let's jump onto this stock list, and I highlight some of the ones that are have showing strong relative strength. This is the daily relative strength right here. This is the weekly relative strength, and this is the highest date, meaning like when was it hit the high the last time. And obviously this is made video after June 28, so the ones that show June 28 meaning they make new high on that day, and because they have strong relative strength, meaning they close pretty strong in general to the S&P. So yeah, so we're gonna look at some of this. A lot of them I've already covered previously. But so today we'll highlight the ones, some of them, and even some of the weaker ones. So the blue colors signify that's either on my watch list or my buy list. The red signify like either I got kicked out from my stop this week, or just showing some quite a bit of weakness. And there's some yellow ones that basically that came onto the list that I need to so start paying more attention to. Yeah, I use relative strength quite a bit besides the chart, just because it helps me really understand where it closed. Generally, when it has a higher relative strength, it means it closed better and stronger than the S&P 500 or NASDAQ. So right here we have INSM still at the top spot. This is based on April 9, 2024. So that's when I first first day I start looking from this list, and then I look at where the lowest price is since that point and calculate the highest price from now. I mean the current price from now, and the difference is what this number is, 204%. So it's definitely the leader. And then we have WGS, both biotech. Now on Friday, again this is based on Friday, so ZIM is in the transportation ship group is doing pretty well. So ZIM has been doing really well this year. You can see this big uptrend right here, and then we have this sharp pullback, and then since that pullback it has been slowly bouncing back, and this is now the the 10-day slope here, and it's moving really nicely. Lots of updates here in the last since the bounce back. Volume is not as strong, but the selling volume is also subsided. We'll see how it perform around the previous highs around this region here. We're getting really close to it, and yeah, I'm slowly adding to it, and also moving my stops. So yeah, let's see how it continues. Just to be clear, the green arrows is where I add position, and then the red lines drawn across are where my stops are as I move up. Again, my trading style is I generally in an uptrend, if I believe the uptrend will continue, I usually give it enough room. I follow the 3-day up, 3-day down rule, which is it will continue to, you'll go up 3 days, come down 3 days on average, right? It's not going to be always the case, but every time it does that, it'll go up again 3 days, come back down 3 days. Each time it should make a higher high and a higher low, and as it make a new high, I will usually move my stop up 1 day at a time and stuff like that, depending on where's the most logical sense to put that stop without actually, you know, it being pulled back and hitting my trigger, right? So yeah, so that's generally how I trade. But right now, like I said, this stock looks pretty healthy. Like, I'd like to see more volume. You know, the good thing is there's not much selling volume, so that's the good thing. But I also like to see more, especially as it comes close back to these previous highs. I want to see a lot of volume come in to support this stock, versus like let's say a downside reversal on high volume. That would be not very good. So that's what I'm watching for on this stock. So yeah, as I go down this list, one thing you will notice is there's no shortage of ideas right now. I mean, a lot of stocks are in an uptrend, and they're you know, this is another column that I use that tells me whether it's above the 10 and 21 day moving average, which usually means it's in an uptrend. And then we have HROW in the biotech still doing good. AMSC a little bit weaker. Then we have VITL and CRDO. So let's just jump to those two. VITL. Again, this stock has been one of my most profitable trade. You know, I started trading. I was late. I missed this whole run here, but I did get into here, and it climbed until this area where it's starting to get stopped out. And then I tried a couple of times as it pulled back. It didn't work. And then finally right here, it seems to be making new high again. And the slope is pretty strong. And I've been adding as well at that level. The next stock is CRDO. CRDO, you know, breakout right here, moves up pretty fast. This stock is a very fast mover. And then it pulled back quite significantly to the 21-day line. And then now we're seeing this bounce. And this slope is really strong. So that, I don't remember, it wasn't in the top 10, but now it's like all of a sudden it came up to the top 10. So this is in the Internet Network Solutions. Yeah, doing really well. And we already talked about ARM in the other video. Again, the chip sector, just so you guys, if you didn't watch the other market recap video, please do. We talk about the chip and the software group, but mostly the mega caps. And the chips are kind of weakening a little bit, in my opinion. So we'll watch and see if they could come back. But right now, it's definitely not a buy signal right now. And we have RNA and TMDX both in the health sector. We have a sharp bounce on RNA right around here, and then it pulls back orderly to, you know, near the 10-day. It never touches the 10-day. Here's the slope of the 10-day, and now it's starting to rebound. We're seeing volume starting to dry out on the selling side, and the volume on the bounce side is coming up. So that's really good sign. Here's TMDX, also doing well on the medical products group. Here's the first bounce, and then I started to buy into it, had a good run, and then it started to pull back, and then it just mainly went sideways. And then we have one more pullback right here, and then now it looks like it's starting to move at a faster pace. So we'll see how that goes. So two stocks I got knocked out of is HIMS and CHWY. So HIMS has been doing really well this year, like, you know, considering this run right here, nice breakout. Then it starts to fall apart, and each time it tries to come back, you can see it's making lower highs. And I took a jab at it because it was near the 21-day here, and it fell miserably due to some media company coming out says, you know, their drugs are not very good or something like that. So then it has a huge drop that day, and you know, and so far, you know, it is finding some support. If I go look at intraday, so it's no man's land right now between 21 and 50 day. It did find some support, you know, from this low here, you know, so we'll see, because now you have two support level, but the bounce is, you know, still considered pretty weak so far. So you can see this is where the majority of the gap down level is, so it has to be at least above this level to interest me again. The next stock is CHWY. I don't know what happened on that intraday chart. Let's look at the daily chart first, right? So I've been buying into this stock as it moves up, and then all of a sudden, I think Roaring Kitty did something, and I can't remember, it posted an image or something, and then anyhow CHWY like ran up like really fast. I didn't even know it happened. That's how fast it happened. And you know, so yeah, I mean it kind of dropped really fast after that 15-minute there, and then the next day it gapped down further, and I got tripped, I think. So yeah, unfortunately I wasn't aware of this gain even, and so I wasn't able to sell out or anything. Again, this stock all of a sudden had become a meme stock, unfortunately. So that's what happened. Then we have TWST from Biotech Group, as well as ALNY from Biotech Group. This one has been running really strong. ALNY, unfortunately, I just missed the run. CAMT, this is David Ryan's stock, doing really well. Here's the chart, and you know, here's the first run from this breakout. Then it pulled back, and then it ran again. Now it pulls back recently, and now it's running again. And look at, it's moving pretty fast. So I would keep tight watch on this. I might continue to add if it, you know, can continue to run, but it might be a little bit extended right now. We'll see how that goes. Then we have MNTK from Energy Alternative, BLBD from Transportation Equipment, NVDA, and ANF. ANF, you know, as you can see, has pulled back from previously. May 29 was the highest level here. You know, this also was a well-performing stock, but it took a break after that big up day, and then here's the bounce, and then since that it couldn't make a newer high right here, right? So it fell back, and now it looks like, you know, we have this base now. It's been more than probably 5 weeks now, and on Friday it has a nice bounce. So you know, even though it's still kind of not quite above the trend line, I did take a early position. This is to minimize my risk in case this fell, but it also have a higher risk of failing just because it's not up above the trend line. So I mean, you take it for what it is. But one thing here I noticed was the volume really dwindled, so I decided to take this leap. And Friday's volume, like I said, really good, and it was up. Let's look at the intraday chart. Yeah, I mean this level is the support level. It was tested right here, so it looks good. And yeah, it looks like, you know, it never tried to even come back and test it. Look at this bounce right here, so it looks really good. So I'm optimistic that, you know, if the market doesn't suffer any big drawback, this stock could continue its run again. So let's see how this bounce works. But yeah, so you know, right now it's still too early to tell whether it will work. But at least you know, like I said, it has been base building in a way, and it was a strong stock before. Let's see how it continues. Next we have Snap, ASPN, and Cyrus, and Form, and NVMI. Those are all chip stocks that are still doing pretty good. And I did discuss this briefly on the weekly market cap, so I'm not going to redo that here. But yeah, those are the few ones that actually are standing out. VECO is another one. So those four is on here. Then we have CAVA, CMRE, also in transportation ship, FN. Then we have TERN, and then we have ATGE, which is in consumer service education, and that one, you know, is starting to move out of this space. So it looks really good. We have this run right here, very strong run from the bottom, and then it did a base building, and it looks like quite many weeks here, like probably 6 weeks, and now it came out on Friday. So looks really strong. We'll see how this goes, this breakout. We have THC from medical hospitals, Audio Eye, AGIO from biotech, LTH leisure service. We go ASC from oil and gas pipeline, and then we have ANET, and ANET has been bouncing pretty strong. This stock, you know, it's not an easy stock to hold, you know, I would say, despite this is a big cap stock. Obviously this networking has a lot to do with AI and data centers, so you know, I think the customers are like Microsoft, Meta, and so forth. So I mean, they're gonna do well, right, with the AI theme. But like I said, this stock has been harder to hold, and it hasn't. I mean, this run right here, even this was, you know, very choppy, right? So you definitely have to give it more room if you want it to work when there's an uptrend. Right now, this uptrend, surprisingly, is very strong. Like, I mean, this is 45-degree angle, and this pullback here I think is very significant because I would think like most people may have run out of patience or they got scared because it was a failed breakout in a way, and now it's starting to show some power and it's moving pretty fast. Like we almost at the 20% level here. So so yeah, I would continue to look at this because this one like I said, it's kind of, I don't know, you can still consider this hardware, but for networking there's lots of software also, so it's kind of like in the middle ground between the hardware group and the software group, and in a way, like it does good when the hardware guys do well, it also does good when the software guys do well. So it's kind of like a good a good stock for like having on both sides, right? Like that's how I think of this stock. But yeah, right now is showing some leadership and it's in the top 50. Really exciting. So next stock is Carpenter Technology in the steel specialty alloys. This one has done really well this year as well. You can see I ride this wave pretty good, and then it started to fall apart right here at the top, and it had a nice pullback. I haven't touched it since, and look at it now, it's starting to bounce again, and the 50-day line starting to move again. I mean, it is a little bit extended from the 200-day, but but this is again steel specialty oil alloy stock. The trend is looking really good. It might be slightly extended, but like I said, this stock can move, so I like it, and yeah, this week I'm starting to get into this stock. So this one in the electrical contract manufacturing, CLS, again, this one also have a nice uptrend this year. So now it's taken the break, right, and it tried to come out and it fell, like and then now right here, and then now it built another tight pullback, and now it's moving up slowly. So that's the only thing, but relative strength, you can see it's moving up, so which means it's performing better than the market, and it's also in the top 50. So yeah, that could have more room to run. So Universal Display OLED, this one broke out recently. The run is pretty good, and this slope, 10-day slope, is very strong. Like this is 60-degree angle. I traded out right here. It didn't work because I had a really tight stop here. But recently, I really have expanded my portfolio and buying stocks, just because, like I said, the market breadth has really improved, and so now I want to give it a little bit more room to run. So for example, right now, this is for 4th day since this bottom, and that's where my stop is. Generally, 3-4 days or even up to 6 days, even, that's how much room I would give it. But right now, yeah, it's making new high on Friday. Looks good to me. So Hood, Robinhood is doing okay. It broke out right here, nice run, pull back really strong, and now it's starting to move again. We'll see if this works. Like this Wednesday move doesn't look too good to me because of the reversal, but so far it's been holding tight since that reversal, so it's not giving up much, and it's above the 10-day, so it looks okay to me. Yeah, then we have SRPT in the biotech group, MMYT leisure travel, then we have PTGX in the medical, and this one had a big bounce right here. I was trying a couple of times here, it didn't work, and this one came out, and I didn't get into it because and the volume did subside, so that's another good sign on the selling side, on the selling part. Now let's look at the 50-minute interval on this. So this was a nice gap up. I'm not sure, there must be some news, and so this was like pulling back down, and so I was like, oh, I'm not going to get into this. Let's it finish its course, and it came back down to here, and then it started to bounce back. So I missed this because I wasn't paying attention, but I probably should have taken a position on this bounce, especially it did finish really close, strong. So it has been tested, like sometimes it fill up the gap right here, and it kind of did, not all the way, but it kind of came close to it. So yeah, but I'll put it on my, let's say, I'm watching this very closely here. Then we have UTHR from the biotech group, OLLI, retail discount, GMED medical products, CrowdStrike, computer software security, Hello, medical biotech, Pinterest, internet content. A lot of people talking about Pinterest this week, so it might be worthwhile to look into that as well. KD, so this one, computer software enterprise. Again, this group is showing lots of strength. Here's the chart. It broke out right here earlier, and then this was a nice move, make some profit there, and then it pulled back, and now it came out with the trend line right here, and yeah, so I've taken a position now, and here's my stop. Looks good. Next we have Pi, also in the chip area, so this one also looking good. And then we have CCL from leisure services. Carnival, this week was a big week. I missed on the first day bounce here. Unfortunately, I didn't get into it until later. But this is a nice big cup, nice, you know, trend line that is broken, and now it's up way above it. And Friday it did close a little bit down, didn't give up too much. Looks really good. Lots of volume coming in too. So you know, let's see how this goes. You know, yeah. Then we have MyGen from Medical Research Group, Burlington, Retail Apparel, Lantis Medical Products Group. There's quite a bit of medical products group on the list. VECO, computer software, financial. So this is another one related to both financial and software, which could be the sweet spot right now, as we saw from accumulation on the market recap video, which are the two strongest sectors right now. And so here's a nice breakout. It didn't make a big a further move from, you know, usually we're hoping to get at least 20%. It didn't even come close to that. It pulled back, and look at the bounce right now. It's really strong. I mean, this is a lot of, you know, accumulation and very little selling, right? So and yeah, it's just straight 45-degree angle right now. We have Taiwan Semiconductor, ATGE from the insurance group, NSC from security, and then here we have GEV and Berg, which I both got shaken out. So if we look at GEV, I mean, this is an IPO stock. It's definitely volatile, so it takes you definitely need to have a stomach for this. And so this is the uptrend I was looking at, and it failed at, unfortunately. So you know, yeah, so I'm out of it right now. Now it did bounce back from the low on the intraday chart, so so yeah, this could be a new support level. Yeah, so it's above the previous level here too. So this, you know, we could see a bounce here. You know, we'll see. This would be the trend line I draw on the intraday chart to see if it passed back through that point. But it's just very volatile, right? It's very hard to even hold this stock, just because of how big the range on each day is. So I know Charles Harris trade this. It's just a very hard stock to trade, I say. Like, you really have to give it like 10% room to move around. I think Birkenstock, I believe they're selling more shares or something. I can't remember, or some shareholders selling the stock. One of those two. And the stock kind of fell apart after that. It was doing really nice, you know, nice breakout, moving along the 10-day, and then it just fell apart. So yeah, so I can stop out on this one. Next, we're going to jump to this new list. It's from May 24th. So a little bit more recent, like about a month, a little bit more than a month. So these are the performance from that time. And a lot of the stocks are going to be very similar, and I highlight the ones that are bold, that are not on that list in the top 50 area. So Guidewire is the first one. So here's this base here, and then it broke out, but it fell miserably, and it even undercut like pretty close to this low here. It didn't quite make it that far. But then we have this nice bounce from earnings, and then it has been running since. Very tight action. I really like this chart, and it's starting to move into new high ground again, and volume on the selling side has also subsided. I like this stock. We'll keep holding it. This is another stock in the computer software and financial area, which is both sectors are doing really well right now. Again, this week we'll continue looking at some of the computer software group, especially in the bigger cap stocks. not the mega cap, but the the 100 billion, 200 billion cap. Adobe has suffered a huge correction, and many of the stocks we're going to talk about that are moving also did that. And this is one of the ones that are starting to come back up on the right side. And so you can see, this little nice move here, gap up on earnings, and then trade sideways, and then now it's taking off again, right? So so yeah, it's climbed now above the 200-day. So that's also a very positive move. On Friday it followed through, so it doesn't even have any ceiling there from anyone trying to sell. And again, volume is really good. Like on the sell side, it's getting lower and lower, and on the buy side, you can see all this volume coming in, right? So really healthy. So ZimV is a smaller cap stock in the medical product. Again, we're seeing lots of medical products moving. Here's the trend line. It broke out, and then look how tight it's been trading since. And then the 10-day is moving at a pretty strong slope, 45-degree angle. So yeah, looking pretty good. So next we have NET and ADSK, both of them in the software group as well. So Cloudflare, we have this huge trend line right here. Again, another stock that has suffered pretty big correction, and now it's moving back on the right side. It clears this 200-day black line, pretty good. Like, I mean, it has one day of pulling back to it, but then Thursday it took off, and Friday kind of continued to make new highs. So looking really good. Another software stock, Autodesk. Again, huge correction. Like you don't want to be on this left side of the base, and now it has come up really strong on the right side, like super strong after the earnings. I mean, it fell on the earnings, and then it kind of closed at near the top half, and then the next day it started to move up again. So yeah, so basically all the sellers are done, and then here we pull back tightly. Didn't even come close to the 10-day, and this is the 10-day slope, which is again very strong. And here we have a little handle here based on IBD chart, and it make new high on Friday. It looks really good. Next we have ESTC from the database group and Frog from the software enterprise group. Here's ESTC. So again, huge correction base. This is like another ugly fall here, because you would think it works here, but it didn't. It tests one more time, it make new low, 92.96 versus 93.33. A lot of people gave up. Then it bounced back, and then it pulled back one more time to this 50-day. Again, more people probably give up then. So now it's starting to bounce. Looks pretty strong. We haven't really come out to make new high yet. But let's see how that goes this next week. But it's this base have a lot of these bases are so long, like 3 months or older. It's starting to dry up on the selling side, and yeah, pay attention to the volume. This one I like to see more volume on the buy side. It's missing that, but yeah. And then JFrog, we have this nice run here. Then we finally gave up, and we went to this big correction. And now we're starting to see good movement again. This slope is really strong, like 45-degree above. And it's moving really nicely right now. It trend above the 50-day line as well without much test there. So it didn't even try to come back. So yeah, looking really strong as well. Volume also picking up. Selling volume also dry up. Really good. Next we have FDX, FedEx, which report this week. Really good number. And Palantir. So here we go on the chart on FedEx. Again, this is a really tough base on base pattern. It fell right here, and it goes into this deep correction again. So it's a long consolidation here. And finally, we have a really good earnings report, and boom, it gap out on new high that day, like just one day. And then we watch how it performed next day. It kind of found some support level right here, and then it closed near the top, and then Friday it followed through. So very healthy chart. It is starting to look a little bit extended because of this gap up, significant gap up. But so far, it has been tested on the support low right here. Looks really good on intraday chart. And even on Friday it didn't give up much at all. Like if I come back to the intraday chart again, you can see it went up, and then look how little it give back. Like it just went sideways. This is really strong action. Next chart is Palantir. Yeah, Palantir, it has some really ugly move right here. It was a big down day. I got tripped on that, just barely. Then I had to buy it back. But yeah, overall, again, this is a long base, and now it's starting to move up. So it went up here and then it pulled back. And hopefully this is gonna keep going again. He's holding really tight on Friday. So right here, so yeah, it looks really good. Like you even test this low here, short-term low. Where is short-term? The other thing is the volume really subside on the daily chart as well. Even on the intraday chart. Let me show you. Look at this selling right here. Look at how low that volume is. Incredible. Next, we see now another software enterprise group, cyber in the security group. Yeah, so here's ServiceNow. Yeah, very long consolidation, right? Most people ran out of patience. Ugly chart on the left side. On the right side, it's coming back pretty strong. I mean, this is pretty strong slope. Like this is like almost 50 degree angle. Yeah, even close to 60 degree angle, I would say. So yeah, and then volume selling is really low. This is coming near the traditional buy point, new high area. So yeah, is it extended? I mean, little bit, but yeah, I think it has potential to even make one big day move and break out. And then what it does after, hopefully it'll go sideways and then go further again, right? So that's kind of what I'm expecting here. Again, service software security group in the enterprise really doing well. The next one is cyber security. Also similar. Again, all these charts got hammered this year. From February to pretty much recently, as May, even mid-May, or end of May, yeah, early June, and then these guys all bounced back in June. Really strong chart again. Look at how many updates. It's just incredible. One selling day right there. Yeah. Next is TTC. This one didn't work out for me. Here's a nice bounce. Move out a little bit. Then it kind of consolidate and start to pull back, and then all of a sudden we see this one down big day right here that tripped me up. Since that, it has gone a little bit lower, and then now it's bouncing back to this trend line. Yeah, so this one didn't work out for me so in this case. Next, we see IoT here on my radar. The data dog. Here's again very ugly chart right here on the left side. Came out right here. Nice day, and it's been moving up. Unfortunately, I missed the early buy signal, so I just end up buying on Friday. Volume also subside, so and volume on the upside is pretty getting stronger. Looks really good. I just want to say quickly, like the software group is showing so much improvement lately in the last 2 weeks that this. Like I don't believe in buying late, like especially when they're still in the base, because these guys are corrected for so long. Yeah, there's lots of opportunities because in general IBD growth stocks, they tend to break out and then goes up about 20%. That's kind of like the normal thing that will happen to most of those stocks. So for some of these stocks that are still under the base, yeah, it's not buying too late. In my opinion, yeah, sometimes it might be a little bit extended from the 10-day, and that may cause a pullback. But to me, this is the low risk time to build a position because it's going to take a month or two before it finally get to that 20% mark. And who knows, earnings could really be the catalyst for some of these guys. So it could be good or bad. But if you have a 10-20% cushion by then, you can hold on to it for a bigger gain, right? Or at least sell some, take some profit, whatever. There's more options. But if you wait till it breaks out, and the traditional buy point, that might be a little bit late, right? Just because now there's more potential for it to move more volatile and wild. Even this one, like it came up and it pulled back, it just shake out even more people. This one is a little bit more volatile, I would say, smart sheet. But right now it's just moving back up again. So we'll see volume also dry out on the selling side and pick up on the buying side. So that's also a good sign. Then we have SAI on the transportation chart, KC, CRM. So here's another software group. Here's Salesforce, very deep drop. This base is the depth of this base is 33%. So it was a 33% correction. Right now it's coming back up on the right side. We still have this 50-day challenge here, but like I said, we've seen some of this software group that have already moved beyond the 50-day or 200-day. They have no problem crossing it, and they didn't even get tested in most cases. So we'll see how it goes here, but it looks really strong. I always like Duolingo, but the chart usually don't look as good as I hope it should. Here's a base, fell. Here's another base, fell. Here's the this is the third time now. It's a very long consolidation. And the one thing, like, as good as it looks right now, it's a very slow pace moving up, which I don't like. Which, but the selling volume, look at this, it's starting to subside quite a lot, right? But yeah, I don't like this part right here. So much selling, and now we're seeing lots of resistance on the upper side, and but the volume did come down. So Friday is a good day just because it has more volume. It didn't give up too much. We did make a new intraday high. We'll see how this stock perform. But like I said, it hasn't performed as well as the other ones like I've seen. We have Chris from Biotech Group, GPS, from Retail, ESI, Chemicals, MP, Oil and Gas, GitLab, another one, Computer Tech Service coming up, XPro, Oil and Gas Field Service, Palo Alto. So this one is in the security, Palo Alto. Again, very ugly left side. I mean, like, I don't know, like anyone holding through this are definitely long-term investors. Then we have this huge pullback right here. Again, another big shakeout right there. Then we finally have this right side of the base moving up. Right now it's a little bit extended. This day was really strong, which is good sign. And look at the volume. I mean, Friday was a down day. It's not too bad. It didn't give up back too much after a really strong day. Look at the intraday chart. Here it is, and look at it gives up. One quarter or slightly less than 1/3 for sure, right? So it gave up, not too much gain. So it looks really good. And we have ACIW in the financial group. This one's also coming up strong. We have Wing in the retail restaurants, Intuit, another software financial group doing well. LNW in the leisure, Jeffries in the financial area, SkyWest in the transportation airline, CBLT in the computer software database, also doing well. DCPO in the computer software enterprise group. Lilly also doing not too bad, still on the list. So ISRG, Intuitive Surgical, NTAP, HLT. We already talked about Hood, Ryan, MATX. Some of them, not moving as fast as I want. It was climbing, so I got into them, but then some of them hasn't moved after that. Weatherfoot here, Amazon we already talked about in the market recap video. PSN, another software guy. Infa is coming up, so highlighted yellow, computer software. GM falling a little bit, Deking falling a little bit. Meta, we talk about. CHDN. Tyler Technology also coming up. Microsoft we already talked about in the market recap. And we all also doing okay. CDNS. So yeah, it's like CNS, Monday. I mean, these are, at the lower bottom, like of this list. It's still okay, just not as strong. Netflix also doing okay. MEDP. And we have some selling. Like, let's look at SMCI. It has, again, the chip sector overall is you know, there's the 4 I mentioned in the top list, but this one, you know, very weak in my opinion. Like, it's just not moving. But again, the whole chip is having lots of problems right now. So this is the Thursday bounce, really strong day, and it even went above this short-term trend line, but it was looks like a fake move. Friday it fell back all the way, so I don't like that movement. Yeah, if you look at intraday, it's very ugly, right? Like, you know, besides taking out this low, which could happen this coming Monday. So just yeah, I would say the power is not there. There's a lot more power on the downside than on the upside. This upside bounce is so short, I couldn't believe it. Yeah, this is pretty much the list I will cover today. A lot of the stocks I didn't cover, especially in other groups. Like the one that I'm looking at above the 50 is usually the software group, because I know that one's really strong, and even the one related to software financial. But yeah, you can see from today, like, there's really no shortage of ideas. A lot of them are in uptrend now, and they look really good. And a lot of them are also in, you know, in this list, this newer recent list. Most of them have come up from a base building, whereas the initial list that I have, those are from April. Those ones already really high up out of the base long time ago. So very different lists, but they both are showing strength right now. Also, I'm not getting too many trigger on the stop side, meaning it didn't come back down hard, as hard, that, you know, so that's also another good sign that this market is working. So I hope this video really helped you understand how I trade, and maybe you can help, you know, use some of the ways I do trade and help you yourself. Thank you for watching this video. Please like and subscribe.